Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport, where the Stormers have survived a late scare against the Sharks, eventually winning 29 points to 23, a bonus point victory for the number 2 in the log Stormers side. But a Sharks side which were really poor and then all of a sudden kind of kicked into gear. A couple of yellow cards towards the end of the game, also really helping their cause. But Stormers switched off. There's no other way of sort of putting it. They switched off and almost paid a very, very big price for it. And I think that of the two coaches, I think John Dobson might almost actually be the more upset one in the change room, sitting there going, how did you guys almost throw that away? But yeah, before we sort of break the game down, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. First off, it was all one-way traffic, wasn't it? Curran Bosch actually got things underway for the Sharks in the 8th minute with a penalty. However, Clayton Blommetjies, or rather Sasha Mfene-Mngomezulu went over for the first try in the 14th minute. A really nice little move, good lines being run and good offload off the ground from Clayton Blommetjies, who had an absolute storm of a game, will surely be the man of the match. Moneybok missing the conversion and Curran Bosch getting a 3-pointer in the 19th minute to actually put them back ahead, despite the Sharks almost having no possession inside Stormers territory. However, a bonus try. In fact, if you look back at the game, the try that actually changed it, where an up and under came loose and Henko Venter tried this very long, extravagant pass out towards Curran Bosch and threw it straight into the hands of Ben Jason Dixon. And they were about maybe 50 meters out, and Ben Jason Dixon just sort of strolled over, grabbed that try. Moneybok added the extras, and all of a sudden the Stormers were well ahead. We then saw Clayton Blommetjies go over in the 31st minute. It was far too easy, to be honest. There, off the back of a scrum, a nice little wraparound between Libok and Mngomezulu, and then a long pass out from Libok just on the angle. And Clayton Blommetjies hitting the angle just around Werner Kok. And once he got that sort of head start, I think he was always going to be beating Werner Kok, and he went over there. And you sort of felt, well, the Sharks were almost sort of out of it at half time, 19 points to 6. They had to score first, and they didn't. Because Clayton Blommetjies went over for a second try in the 54th minute, Moneybok adding the extras, and then you're sitting there thinking, well, 26 points to 6. That's game done, isn't it? However, Jarl Penkler went through for a try in the 57th minute. A much better play from the Sharks, who once they unloaded their bench, were a lot better, because in the first half they were nowhere. Their pack was being bullied, the backline couldn't get into it. Rowan Jansen van Rensburg was a passenger, couldn't get any ball. Stormers winning scrum penalty after scrum penalty. The Sharks' replacements made a difference. Now, I think that was always the tact. They were just too far behind. They then saw a yellow card to Sadie Sunday in the 70th minute, and another yellow to Sebastian Nuttall in the 71st minute when he tried to trick Grant Williams, who, out of nothing, created one of the individual tries of the season. Shortly before that, Rowan Jansen van Rensburg battering his way over in the 65th minute. The Sharks all of a sudden were thinking, well, maybe the upset's here. They're 3 points behind. But a couple of late penalties, and eventually the Stormers taking the 3 points well after the siren had gone to get that 29-23 victory. If you look at some of the stats, the Sharks in the second half actually had more possession, but territory always favoured the Stormers. 61% in total, 65% in the second half. 4 tries to 1, 3 conversion. Sharks with those 2 penalties. Tries actually haven't updated yet because the Sharks also scored 3 tries. Instead of the one there. So, yeah, interesting. Well, not sure why the stats aren't updating. So Stormers ran more meters, had more clean breaks, had the Sharks actually had more defenders beaten. More offloads from the Stormers, more turnovers won. For me, the big sort of stat over here is the scrum success and the amount of penalties. The Stormers were hammering the Sharks the entire game. And of the Sharks, 16 penalties conceded, I think at least about 5 of them were from the scrums. And if you don't have that set piece, you're always going to be struggling. Stormers conceded 9 penalties, almost half the amount of the Sharks rather, but they did get 2 yellow cards. In terms of individual performances, I thought that Deon Farik got through a lot of work, 10 tackles from him. I thought that Ernst van Rijn worked quite hard as well, seemed to be quite industrious. If you look at the back line, Sasha Mngomezulu looked pretty comfortable at inside centre. Rowan Jansen van Rensburg was a battering ram. He beat 5 defenders, 31 meters gained, didn't miss a single tackle either. It was a strange game because I thought that at stages, the Stormers looked like there was no possibility of them losing. They did kind of butcher 2 or 3 tries throughout the match, and the Sharks never looked really like scoring. But that last sort of 15-minute resurgence, almost 20-minute resurgence from the Sharks, was quite impressive. And I think a lot of Sharks fans will ask, well, why can't they do that all the time? We can't answer that though. So let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.